firefighter who paid the ultimate price, with fellow public servants from across the state saluting his sacrifice.
Greater love hath no man than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends.
A look at a last call for Fire Lieutenant Parker, tonight on Eyewitness News at 11. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Frank Malloy.
And I'm Portia Lake.
Firefighters say they're a group like no other, and today, as they paid their respects to a fallen brother, they proved their unity.
We begin our newscast tonight with coverage of the last call for Macon firefighter Lieutenant Randy Parker. He died in line of duty last Wednesday night, serving the community where he'd been a firefighter for around 2 decades.
Among those who honored him, a tight-knit family of brothers and sisters. First responders from Marietta, Charleston, South Carolina, Augusta, Atlanta, and beyond, all lining First Street in downtown Macon. They celebrated the life of fallen Macon firefighter Lieutenant Parker as his funeral was held at the City Auditorium this morning.
One firefighter who knew Parker says he was humble and will be at a loss for words to see thousands turn out. But those who knew him said it was important to come to honor him today.
The fire service is a large, extended family with a strong tradition and a history of making a sacrifice to serve the public. And when we lose one of our own in our family, our extended family of the fire service, you know, it's a mourning that we all share and we come to support one another. So this brave lieutenant was not able to go back home to see his family, so we're coming to see him.
We all support each other. Whether you know them personally or not, they wear the badge, they wear the patch. That's all it takes.
Inside the City Auditorium, tears flowed as speakers talked about not only the call to duty Parker answered, but the legacy he gives and leaves as a husband, a father, a friend.
And those who've come to know him over the years, including Fire Chief Marvin Riggins, described his lasting contributions in a service that included words, images, and music.
What happened last Wednesday? When our worst enemy cruelly claimed one of our own. Being a fireman is not something you do, it's someone you are. It's not a career that's chosen, it's a calling that chooses you.
Their fleeting presence had a lasting impact on the lives of other human beings. This is how Randy lived. This was his legacy.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun.
From the City Auditorium, the procession made its route through town. It was filled with emergency crews, family, and friends heading to Glen Haven Cemetery to put Lieutenant Parker to rest.
The 20-minute procession traveled down First Street before turning onto Oglethorpe. Men and women from different agencies looked on, quietly saluting. Cemetery, a final emotional last call. Lots of uniforms and salutes there as well as the procession rolled up.
Paula Rotondo was there as it arrived.
Cars filled with heavy hearts made their way into the cemetery to lay Lieutenant Randy Parker to rest. His casket was brought in by a vintage fire truck driven by fellow firefighters. Through the crowd, you could find emergency crews from counties all over the state, including Crawford, Banks, and Houston. As the casket was carried, the bagpipes began to play. The Service started with a prayer as loved ones held on to each other tightly. Toward the end of the ceremony, Lieutenant Parker was given his last call. The American flag, now in the hands of his wife Sandy, along with the firefighter's hat, representing the career for which he gave his life. In Macon, Paula Rotondo, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
For those of you who are unable to attend today, you can find images in tribute to Lieutenant Randy Parker in our online photo gallery. That's at 13WMAZ.com.